Okay, and the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm not sure how much introduction was given ahead of time, but my name is Sheila Kalar. I'm with an organization called Senior Animals in Need Today Society, Saints Rescue for short. And I've been with the organization since it started in December 2004. And I just want to thank you all for having me at your conference. And on behalf of the staff and the volunteers, and especially our saintly residents of our shelter, I would like to give a really heartfelt message of gratitude for picking us as your charity of choice. So I'm going to start my PowerPoint presentation. I'm not swift at this, so I hope it goes smoothly. And I think it did. So we are an end-of-life sanctuary for senior and special need pets and farm animals that have nowhere else to go. We believe we are very unique and needed organization within the larger animal welfare community. Local pounds, shelters, veterinarians, and other rescue groups have all reached out to us over the years to take animals in their care that they can no longer help. So our mission statement is very simple. It's to provide a safe haven for senior, palliative, and special needs animals. And our vision statement sort of piggybacks on that by saying to build a community which values the lives of elderly, palliative, and special needs animals and meets their needs through kindness and empathy. Saints is located on 3 acres in Mission, and it started again as of December 2004, and it's helped over 1,200 elderly and special needs animals have come through our doors. We work closely with pounds and shelters to identify animals at risk of being unadoptable in the traditional shelter system. Veterinarians, rescue groups, and pet guardians also approach us with animals whose needs are better met in a place that understands and can manage the demands of aging and special health needs. We have 6 members of our board of directors, 8 full-time staff, and about 40 to 50 volunteers. The founder of Saints, Carol Hine, is a registered nurse who works within the home health care system, where many of her patients have a need for palliative care. A number of years ago, Carol envisioned a similar type of system that would care for senior and special needs animals. She began Saints in December 2004 and purchased the acreage we are now on in Mission in 2006. And in 2018, the Society purchased the property from Carol. We usually have between 110 and 120 animals at any given time. On average, 30 farm animals and 15 birds make up that mix of Saints residents. Our Saints is intended as a final home for pets and farm animals that have run out of options. Our innovative approaches to healthcare and well-being are recognized among veterinarians and animal welfare groups. We provide a special place where they can be loved, cherished, and receive proper medical care for the rest of their days. Part of our work includes educating people about the care of elderly and special needs animals and responsible pet ownership. We achieve this through our visitation days, which usually happen on the weekends, but because of COVID, we've shut them down for over almost a year. Volunteering opportunities, community fundraising events, speaking engagements, and our web and social media pages. Our mix of residents at the shelter are dogs, cats, rabbits, budgies, a couple of doves, a turtle, sheep, 5 horses, chickens, a rooster, potbelly pigs, farm pigs, 2 cows, 3 goats, 2 donkeys, and a llama. Animals generally arrive here for one of 5 main reasons. 1, the shelter or pounds may have deemed them unadoptable because of their age or medical conditions. And that simply means that because of their age or their medical condition, they understand that the public is not going to come down to the shelter and adopt them. 2, veterinary clinics may direct them here when owners ask for euthanization and the vet clinic feels that viable medical options are available for quality of life. And usually I have to say 50% of the time that those owners that take their animals down to vets to be euthanized is because they can't afford the vet fees. And number 3, private citizens may not be able to cope with the needs of an aging animal or may not be permitted to take their elderly pets with them into senior housing. 4, older people may pass away, leaving behind an elderly and special needs animal. Or 5th, shelters may seize a neglected or abused animal who has no other placement options. And on average, we take in about 60 animals a year, and 20 to 30 find permanent homes, and another 20 to 30 will pass away in that same year. In some instances, animals brought into Saints do find, as I said, a permanent home or a supportive foster home. The potential for placement elsewhere depends on health conditions that may already have, and the level of care required. More often than not, though, when an animal is brought to Saints, the Saint Sanctuary, the Saints becomes their final home. And here's where we are different. We take them in with the knowledge that will likely live out the remaining days here. What makes Saints unique is our innovative approaches. We do things that shelters and pounds can't do. We provide innovative approaches to health management, care, housing, and living. That often around emotional health and well-being and a long and expected life. So the first thing is we have individual health management. We consistently provide our residents with high quality, compassionate care. Our veterinarians and their staff have worked with Saints for many years and have an understanding of aging related disease. Their ability for accurate diagnosis enables the activation of informed individual care plans and treatment protocols that result in immediate and lasting high quality of life. The emphasis at Saints is always on quality of care and quality of life. Through specialized diets and medication, each animal's health is managed in the least invasive way possible. And sometimes that means, some dogs as they age and they're not feeling so healthy, the emotional well-being is not the same as another animal that has those exact same issues that will go on forever. And so that's what we mean a lot when we say individual and individual medical care, because we take in the emotional well-being of the animal to care for them medically. Second, we have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week care and attention. Day or night, weekday, weekend, or holidays, there's always someone at the sanctuary. During the day, staff and volunteers help to make Saints the unique environment it is by providing one-on-one care and attention that the animals both need and look forward to. And having a live-in caregiver at night provides a comforting presence, someone to administer evening medications, and the ability to respond to any needs that arise. The frequent touch, gentle interaction, and caring attention that is given to each animal, each of our special residents, informs us of any changes in eating and sleeping habits, physical movement, and behavior, which gives us timely insight into improvement of decline in health and well-being. I just wanted to also add, right now, we are looking into making or overnight a thing that is a rotation of staff so that there's more than just one caregiver at nighttime. It'll allow us to do certain tasks like laundry and maybe entering into the computer at nighttime so that it gives our staff in the morning during the daytime a lot more extra time to do enrichment, which is really important to us. Number 3, we have kennel-free housing, as you can see from the pictures. We don't have kennels here, and we never will. If we cannot offer at least the illusion of some kind of home to them, then we have nothing of value to offer them at all. We know how to give them a home. Lots of sofas, soft cushions, low beds, blankets, compatible roommates, views to what's going on in the kitchen and outside, and outdoor time in the yard, and fields with everyone that they get along with. Preventing senior and special needs animals from spending their days languishing in a kennel is a vital and compassionate service that drives our work. 4th is potential to self-actualize. And I think we accidentally found out that was happening at our shelter when we first opened up. It wasn't a goal. It was just that we started to see it happen because we allow animals to move at their own pace pace because we don't have adoptions at the end of the road for them. In their brief time with us, we help them to regain a sense of self-worth. They soon learn that the sanctuary, its fields, yards, house, multi-purpose building, and barn is their space where they can wander, rest, and play without fear. It is a place where they can rediscover themselves and will be loved unconditionally. We've seen painfully shy, broken, and used up animals come through the door. Over time, many lose their hesitations around others, develop confidence and curiosity, become joyful, and find their own power and value. They find their true selves. It is very rewarding to witness the transformation and know that we've created an environment for it to happen. And finally, most importantly, we offer a gentle passing. The saints do not die in lonely backyards. I'm sorry, but when I read this part, I get emotional because I've been in animal welfare for so long. And when it first started, it wasn't always pretty. And so this is very meaningful to me. So I'm going to start over. The saints do not die in lonely backyards, or cold cement kennels, or sheltered back rooms, or afraid and sterile vet clinics with strangers around them. They die in our arms with a gentle goodbye. Their last memory is that they are safe and loved. This is what we remember each and every time we bear witness to their hearts put in the womb, willingly accepted, because we were able to give them a life where they felt cherished. I apologize for breaking down. So when animals first arrive saints, they are given a thorough medical examination. This is where health conditions often previously unidentified are uncovered. Needed medications are prescribed and treatment begins. Our residents, we find, fall into one of three categories, and the first is palliative care. Whether it's end-stage cancer, end-stage cardiac, kidney, or liver disease, care for an end-of-life illness is geared towards symptom control and maintaining comfort and enjoyment of life. We let them enjoy as many favorite meals, swims in the pond, runs in the fields, and picnics in the backyard as we possibly can. This is why Saints is not a sad place. It is full of chaos, fun, and adventure. It is about letting them live as much as they want to in any way that they decide. We are committed to providing comfort, security, and stability during the final years, months or days left to them. When our animals reach the end of their natural lives and we are no longer able to keep them comfortable and happy, we gently help them pass on from this world, and they are never forgotten. And the second category is special needs. When significant long-term health conditions like diabetes, blindness, paralysis, limb problems, hip dysplasia, or neurological damage are diagnosed, individual medical treatments, care, protocols, and housing needs are put into action. And also under special needs, this I would say accidentally happened. We sometimes get mostly dogs, I would say, rather than any other animal that is so shut down that and fearful of the human world that they just have no adaptability an adoptability in their future, and they do come to Saints and live out. They become sanctuary dogs or sanctuary animals, and they live out their days at Saints. And the other one, the last category, is short-term special care. Most animals come to Saints with a number of treatable ailments, including infections, broken bones, thyroid problems, skin problems, dental problems, hoof problems, digestive problems, weakness from poor nutrition, and emaciation. In addition to longer-term special needs or terminal illnesses, we immediately address the issues that can be fixed while providing comfort and treatment from the larger health issues. And I just wanted to finally just talk about our foster program. because it's not the normal foster program that public shelters do. We don't do fosters where animals go into a home until they find a home. We do what is called a permanent foster care program. Some of our special friends become available for fostering once their health conditions become manageable. It takes a very special person or family to take into their hearts and home a saint's animal, because they come with a lot of issues, especially medical issues. It is not always an easy thing to do, but things well worth doing are never easy. We take great care to find a home that not only understands their needs, but is able to meet those needs and provide them with the love and security that only a committed family can. When possible, we provide special training and ongoing support to those foster families. We cover all large medical expenses and, when needed, special diets. We do not cover grooming, daily food, or incidental medical issues. Medical appointments where we cover the bills are coordinated through Saints. And we also ask that the permanent foster home be willing to take the animal to our vets that are located in the Fraser Valley. So that kind of limits how many permanent foster homes we have. But we currently have approximately 40 permanent foster homes right now. And just to end it, I would like to just maybe speak about how I see the importance of Saints in 2021. So in 2002, I started volunteering for my local shelter, and I have continued volunteering with the BCFCA alongside of Saints. And back in 2002, when I started, that my local shelter, they had 20 dog kennels, and we have 2 dogs to each kennel. And sometimes if they went over that, we would have to have the dogs moved to the barn. Well, not we, the staff. I won't even go into the amount of cats that there were there at the time. And you fast forward to 2021, and our local shelters, they often only have 2 to 5 dogs up for adoption. Kittens, they go so fast, they don't even show up on the internet. And there are no puppies to be found. They're like gold that they do show up. And Saints today is always unlike public shelters, Saints is always at capacity today, because those palliative, senior, and special needs animals, and I'm including the ones that are sanctuary dogs, are still not considered adoptable almost 20 years later. And so I feel like our work has not changed, and therefore I believe it's vital going into the 21st century. And that's it for my presentation. I thank everybody for listening and hearing our story.
Thank you. It was very touching. I couldn't believe how moving it was when you started talking about your own experience. So thank you very much, Sheila. And I have a very nice surprise here for you. Alan Sieben and Talea Sieben are each donating $100, and they are challenging the audience to also donate. And on top of, we have the donation from the BC4 Traveling Association, which we donated $5,000, and we are also raising money today with our ticket sales. So we are looking to make this a really positive event experience for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, it's people like you and organizations that really help us to do our work, because we get no funding from the government. And we do not have, when our animals go out, we don't even have adoption fees because they have, such large medical issues. So, wow, thank you so much. Thank you.
I am very, very excited. So I'm just going to see, let's see here. Yes, so Talea, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and say to everyone, I've personally been to Saints a few times myself, and the work that they do there is unbelievable. The property is incredibly well maintained. Every area of that facility is clean, as are the animals. And most importantly, all of the animals are happy and they're loved. I know that my dad and I and Malia and some of the other board members have been by a few times, and I'm constantly impressed with the work that they do there, and the amount of animals that they truly just give a positive end of life experience. So as Susan mentioned, Alan and I will each be donating $100 personally. I do challenge everybody else to do the same, because this is a great organization that you can really stand behind, knowing that your money is going to good use. And thank you so much for your time today, Sheila.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your donation.
And I'm very happy to see that Leanne Drake has accepted the challenge. So she's also donating. And let's see if we have any questions for Saints. So one moment, just double check. Jessica and Malia will also be contributing a $100 donation. So this is wonderful, everyone. Thank you very, very much. We've just raised $400 in 5 minutes for Saints. So I'm very, very excited that not only do we have a lot of animal lovers, we also have very generous board members as well. So thank you. And I'll just see if we have any questions for Saints as well. I'll check the chat and I'll check the attendee list. Okay. And Chris Mascal, he has just donated $100. So we've just raised $500 for Saints. This is wonderful. You guys are great. Oh my goodness. I just love this company. Okay, so I'm just going to see if we have any questions and any more donations. And I'll see if any other comments to be made. Oh, thanks for stopping your sharing. Yeah, I don't. Oh, here we go. Alan Steven, he's just put in another 100. So we've just raised $600 for Saint. Wow. This association is amazing. Wow. That's just great. Just great, everybody. All right. So I'll just see if any more. So we're a little bit early, Sheila. Perhaps you can share a little bit of your experience, what got you into animal welfare, maybe a little bit about your story. I noticed, I heard some dogs in the background there, so maybe you can talk about your own.
Okay, well, I will talk about, and I wish I had a picture of them now, but I will talk about, over the years, I myself have taken 6 of the Saints animals. The one that 4 of them have passed away. All of them except for my, one of the cats was a senior. And right now, 4 years ago, I adopted Rain, which I think I brought with me when I spoke to the board. Rain is a really good story to tell about what Saints does well. He is some kind of he's a mix. And he was adopted by a family at 8 weeks old. He, at 9 months old, he became diabetic. He's a juvenile diabetic. Who knew that dogs were juvenile diabetics? It was new to me. And they could not afford the vet bills to look after him. They got him diagnosed, knew he was diabetic, and could not afford the vet bills. And by that, I was thinking at first, oh, you mean you couldn't afford the insulin? It's not the insulin. The first year an animal or even a child becomes diabetic, it takes a huge amount of vet bills vet appointments to stabilize them. I know that we were taking Rain in when we took him every 6 weeks, and that was anywhere from $400 to $600 every time we took him in. So she wasn't able to surrender him to a public shelter because you need to give that animal insulin shots every 12 hours. So he came to Saints. That family loved him. When that woman surrendered him, she was crying. She had just tears pouring down her eyes. And so he came to Saints. He was lucky enough to find, I guess, me. And I actually use him when I do humane education with the BCFCA, because I feel like if someone had purchased, they had purchased pet insurance at 8 weeks of age when he was a perfectly healthy dog, that they would have been able to keep him because their insurance would have paid for a lot of those vet bills. But he is an example of the type of animals that we get in. The other dog I took in was Luke. Luke was, and we took him in 2008. He was a 10-year-old blind, almost deaf lab that was at another rescue. And I hate to say this, but he was adopted out to another old senior person who was 80 years old and who was on a oxygen tank. He got out of the yard, and she was running after him. And I can't even tell you, when I was told that, the picture I got, because he was so into his blindness. He did not walk at a fast pace. And actually the volunteers snuck him out when he came back and told the person who ran the rescue that they'd found another adoption home. And Luke stayed with us for 2.5 years and eventually passed away. We took Joe, who we only had for 4 months. He came in with cancer, and when we took him, he was palliative. And he, I hope we did the best we could for him, because his cancer wasn't something we could treat. We took in Scrappy, who was a senior cat that also was diabetic. And actually, when he came to us, he became undiabetic and then got cancer and became diabetic again. And we had him for 2 years. And then there's Little Face, who came in to Saints. Again, she's one of those animals that came in that was not considered adoptable. She actually started off in the Dawson Creek BCFCA. She was there for I don't know how many months. They transferred down to Chilliwack in the hopes that she would get adopted out there. And she was there for, again, many, many months. By the time she came in as a kitten, by the time she showed up at Saints, she was over a year's old. And the reason why I think she was not adopted was she was not only shy and would not allow people to touch her, was she had something wrong with her back legs that was genetic. She has no pain at all, but she walks like a rat on its hind legs, kind of. And I think people saw this little black cat and thought, they weren't interested in her. So we still have her now. We adopted her in 2010, and 11 years later, we still have her. We still can't touch her. She's more interested in the other cats and dogs in her home than us. That's one of the reasons she wasn't adoptable. I think that's it. I'm hoping I'm not missing anyone else. But their stories kind of explain individually the type of animals that we get at Saints.
Thank you, Sheila. And I'm very happy to notice that there's a nice little banter happening right now. We have a challenge that if Alan Sieben donates one of his cars, then Chris Maskell will put in another 100. And Brad Scott is in for 100. So we're in for several $100 already. So I just love this association, and our partnership with Saints Rescue is wonderful. So thank you for being such a great representative of this charity that we have partnered with. And
thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how Alan's supposed to give a car.
I think that was just a friendly banter.
Okay.
So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
And